What do sales performer who are high performer do differently than the ones who are not? First of all, let's look about the meeting structure. You know, when I started in sales, sales was more like a conversation, talking a little bit, see what's going on, just a conversation, a little bit like a date. Having a date, having a sales conversation, no real preparation, no structure, just saying, hey, hopefully something comes out. This is just wrong, right? But what do I mean by just wrong? I mean, in sales, you need a certain structure. And you could now talk about sales meeting structure. There are playbooks, there are tons of contents out there as well. We will not dive deep into that. But what I want to say to you is make sure there is an introduction. Make sure you plan time for a discovery, time for a demo or product presentation if needed, and time for next steps or the offer and the closing phase. I recommend actually to leverage here when we talk about the 45-minute meeting, 5 minutes for an intro, at least 25 for the discovery, 10 minutes for the demo, but only if the discovery is successful and you have all the information, and then another 5 minutes for offer closing, next steps, and so on. A good intro, the best salespeople start with intros like, hey, hi Marcus. It's great that we can meet today as we agreed last week on the phone. Today, 5 p.m. and now we are here. Really happy and appreciate your time. The purpose of today's call is to give you an introduction about the possibilities to help your sales team. But even more important, I'd like to learn from you to see how we can help and if we can help. The agenda and the plan for today's meeting is that first, a quick introduction about yourself, about me, that we get to know each other. And then jumping into the first step where I would like to ask you some questions to identify if we can help. I'm more than happy to show you what we are doing, have obviously an offer with you as well if you are interested, and then defining next steps and see how we can work together. Marcus, anything else from your side in addition, or what would you like to cover as well? Have I forgotten something? Would be a great introduction as one example, and then talking a little bit of small talk. I'm personally, but that's just me, I'm not the biggest fan of small talking, but I think this is just a personality topic. Nothing against having like 15 minutes, 20 minutes of small talk. But typically my experience is the longer the small talk gets, the less likely is that there is a buying decision, and the less likely is that you talk to the right people making a purchase, because typically people with decision power are quite, decisive. They are conscious of their time and want to know what's going on. After that introduction phase, go into the discovery phase. This is the phase which I like the most. Ask questions, and we will cover the questions in a bit, to get to know the customer. Once you know the customer, prepare the demo, ideally before, but show only the things that were interesting in the discovery phase. Don't do a general product demo. For me, that typically doesn't work. It's better to focus on the discovery first, then actually doing the demo in the right way. And then make an offer, close the deal ideally, handle some objections, and define next steps to make really sure in which direction this is going. The core essence is split meetings into chapters. And for you, you can also have checkboxes in your head. Oh, I have done this, I have done this. And you will see it will get a lot easier. Why? With structure, it's actually possible that you can define when should actually the prospect and the customer talk, and when should you talk. And the golden rule for that is actually that you listen 55% and you maximum talk 45%, or ideally less. Why? People don't buy because you pitch them the greatest solutions. It might be true in some cases, yeah, But people typically buy of emotional reasons. They buy because they are in need for a solution. They buy because they have a problem or a challenge. And first, you need always to, in my opinion, first you need to understand their problem and identify the problem or the wish they have, the desire they have. And you can only do that if you ask questions that makes it possible that you actually talk less and listen more. It should look like this. What do I mean by that? This is a sales conversation between a sales rep and the prospect. And you see here, this line here is actually the sales rep and this line is the prospect. That means here, for example, the sales rep asks a question or makes a statement, whatever, the prospect answers. Now here, maybe the prospect asked the question, the sales rep answered. The messier this looks, the better. Why? It's a real conversation. You say something, the other person says something. That's exactly what you want to accomplish. That's exactly what you want to get out of this. But how to do that? You can do that with open questions. Hey, how have you become so successful? And people will talk about it. People will say, hey, I've done that, that, and that. And that's important. Why? Because when you get these kind of information, you can learn about the customer. Closed-ended questions, you will not learn too much. Are you using Salesforce or HubSpot? Oh, we use Salesforce. Hey, can you explain to me why you like Salesforce so much? Oh, there is this little functionality I like so much. Is a better question than, do you like actually the feature that Salesforce can convert a lead into a contact? Oh yeah, I like it. So also the answers of the prospect for closed questions will be quite short and for open questions quite long. What has made you so successful? How are you solving that problem today? Can you explain me how your current situation looks like? These are the kind of questions you actually can and should be leveraging on exactly that side. This brings me to the open questions that result in longer customer monologues. What do I mean by that? You actually want that your customer talks a lot. When they talk a lot, you can get a lot of information out there and you can learn out of them. And all of that will help you increase the win rate afterwards, that you actually get better on that side. Ask smart questions. A smart question is not, hey, how was the weather? Hey, did you get here on time? Hey, was the metro full? Hey, was the airplane good? Whatever. A smart question is focused on the problem, what you want to get out of them, or your solution as well. One smart question could be, how are you doing sales today? Or what are your current top challenges in sales? Or what are your current top challenges in making your sales team better? When your prospect asks you a question, make sure that you pause before answering. And ideally, make sure that you are in that time frame. Meaning, like, be in the time frame between 0.6 second and 1 second. What is this pause actually? It's like when your prospect asks you something that you actually have a little bit of time to wait. Because if you wait too long, you are not coming confident over. Means like, hey, Jared, can you explain me what does this cost? Oh, yes, sure. This isn't confident, right? Same goes for, hey, Gerald, can you explain me how much it costs? Yeah, sure. It costs only 79 euro per month per user. It's also not confident, but it's confident when someone like this, hey, Gerald, can you explain me how much it costs? Absolutely. It only costs $79 per month per user, and you get this, and this. Make sure you pause before answering. It will make you a lot more confident than anything else. Same counts for the talking speed. Means like an ideal talking speed that you come over confident, that people really see, okay, there is some confidence going on, is between 120 and 150 words per minute. Now you would ask, how can you calculate the words per minute? WPM stands for words per minute. You can do it with Kickscale, for example. You can calculate that and know, okay, we talk with 100 words per minute or 200 words per minute, and you can get into that range. So just make sure it makes sense for you. Never, ever do this. We have seen in our analysis that the win rate decreases by more than 60% when you disable your camera. There is no connection happening. There is just, how to say it, no rapport building up, and you don't trust the other person. Instead of when you do it like this, make sure to enable your camera. Who was ever bored in a sales meeting? I was. What do I mean by that? When only you talk, there is no possibility for the customer or the prospect to talk. So make sure at a maximum of 9 minutes, people don't have attention spans over 9 minutes. That's also why we record this video, and feel free to watch it again. But you cannot do that in that sense and cannot take this up. Yeah. Great sellers handle objections. And there are one great way to handle objections is you need to be prepared. When someone tells you, hey, but is it really legal to record every sales meeting? And you then get back to them and say, okay, that's a good question. I don't know. It's not an answer you will close the deal. But a good answer would be, yes, it is legal, but obviously you need to get the confirmation of the one who is getting recorded. And here I'd like to show you how we do that and how other customers do that. This is great objection handling. Obviously, we can also do another meeting and a webinar only about objection handling. There is a playbook as well, which you can look at. So just to let you know as well. One thing what we have seen too is mention the price late in the conversation. Means like try to talk about the price at the end of your conversation. Why? Price is always connected with an expectation, and I don't want to set any expectation here at the very early on. I just don't want it. So it's also statistics shows that you close more deals when you mention the price late. And last but not least, please summarize all your conversations. But what is also important is that you make an accurate summary. You can do that with our solution, for example, Kickscale. You can summarize that as well, but important that you have a summary. Next steps, current situation, future situation, and so on and so forth. I think this is very, very important to have a summary. Why? A summary and next steps increase your win rates by a fantastic 3x. Means like if there are no next steps, no summary, the likelihood to close the deal is very low, except you have already closed it, which I recommend you if you can do that. That's obviously perfect. Same counts for the follow-up message. Follow-up message, make sure the follow-up message is longer. Not only, hey, it was great chatting with you, let's chat next time, get some more context in there. Last but not least, longer follow-up emails are more effective. Means like when you have 6 sentences or more. Hey, Marcus, was great chatting with you. I really enjoyed your energy today in the call. Thanks for jumping into a call. I have here prepared a little bit of a summary. Your current situation is, your desired situation is, the next steps are, these are some resources I'd like to share with you. Wishing you a great day. We'll give you 5x more likelihood to book a follow-up meeting. I would even say, I don't know why this is, it's more like in the meeting itself, you obviously should book immediately a follow-up meeting. Yeah. So don't wait in the follow-up meeting. When shall we talk again? This would be bullshit. But book it really in the meeting. But this is really meant when someone says, hey, I'm not interested right now, there is no need, make a follow-up email, summarize it really nicely, and get it in the right direction. Summarize, please take this slide as a summary, print it out, measure it. How are you performing? And that brings me to the last step of today. We have obviously an offer here for you. You can't improve what you don't measure. So my question to you is, how do you perform in sales meetings? And today you can test out free sales meetings of your sales meetings. Just upload them or connect the calendar to try it out, test it out, because you will then see how you perform. Like, thanks for the question here. Someone mentioned how fast is actually 120 to 150 words per minute. And it's not so easy to figure out when you don't have any system that helps you. Sign up for app.kickscale.com to try that out. I guarantee you that you will get better. If not, reach out to me and I will help you get better in sales meetings, because this is really what the best performing sales reps do. And this is data out of, again, more than 1,000 sales meetings that we analyzed over the last couple of weeks. And that's exactly what we are going to do.